Hey everyone, welcome back. Ready for another deep dive?
Always ready to dive in.
Awesome. Today, we're tackling something pretty fundamental: DNA.
The blueprint of life.
Exactly. But we're not just going over the basics here, we're going deeper.
Much deeper.
Yeah. We've got some incredible research to dig into stuff that explains not only how DNA works as this instruction manual for life, but also how it's been the driving force behind evolution for, well, forever.
It's mind-blowing when you really think about it.
Totally. We'll be looking at the structure of DNA, how genes function, even how scientists are using things like CRISPR to edit genes. It's a bit sci-fi, honestly.
It is, but it's also very real and happening right now. That's what makes it so exciting.
For sure. Okay, so to start, could you give us a quick refresher on what DNA is exactly? For anyone who maybe slept through that biology class.
Well, imagine a library, right? A huge one filled with tons of books. Each book is a gene. And each page in those books, they hold the instructions for building a single protein.
Ah, okay. I'm starting to see the blueprint analogy here.
Exactly. And those proteins, they're like the workers of your body. They build tissues, organs, they fight off infections, transport oxygen. They do pretty much everything.
Wow, so each gene is like a specific recipe for a protein then.
Exactly. And the way these recipes are stored and copied is amazing. DNA has that iconic double helix shape, right? That's key here.
Oh yeah, the twisted ladder we all remember from school.
Right. So each strand of that ladder, each strand of the helix acts as a template for the other. That's how it ensures accurate replication when cells divide.
Ah, that makes sense. So the double helix isn't just about aesthetics, it's functional.
Absolutely. It's crucial for inheritance, too. When parents have a child, they each contribute one strand of their DNA, creating a unique combination for their offspring.
So that's why we inherit traits from both our parents. Fascinating.
Yeah, that's the basis of inheritance. It's why you might have your dad's eyes or your mom's sense of humor. It's all in the mixing and matching of those DNA strands.
That's really cool. But okay, if DNA gets copied so perfectly, how do things ever change? Like, how does evolution happen?
That's where mutations come in. They're basically changes in the DNA sequence.
Changes, like errors.
Yeah, you can think of them like little typos that happen when DNA is being copied, and they can be caused by all sorts of things: radiation, chemicals, even just random mistakes during cell division.
A mutation is like a glitch in the instruction manual then.
Kind of, yeah, but it's more nuanced than that. Most mutations, they either have no effect or they get repaired quickly by the cell's own mechanisms.
So most of the time, these typos are caught and fixed.
Exactly. But sometimes, and this is where it gets interesting, a mutation will actually give an organism an advantage. Like it'll help them survive better in their environment.
So a beneficial typo.
In a way, yes. And, one of the sources we have discusses a really cool example of this. It's about a type of moth during the Industrial Revolution. They had this mutation that let them blend in better with trees that were covered in soot.
Oh wow, camouflage.
Exactly. And that camouflage helped them avoid predators. So they survived, reproduced, and passed that beneficial mutation onto their offspring. Over time, that mutation spread through the population.
Wow, that's evolution in action right there. Pretty amazing.
It really is. And this brings us to the cutting edge of DNA research CRISPR technology. It's really revolutionizing the field.
CRISPR. Yeah, I keep hearing about that. It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie.
It does, doesn't it? But it's very real. With CRISPR, scientists can actually edit DNA sequences.
Hit them. Like directly manipulate the genes.
Yep, with incredible precision. It's like having a microscopic pair of scissors to cut and paste specific genes.
Whoa, that's mind-blowing.
It is, and it has incredible potential. For example, we could potentially use CRISPR to correct genetic errors that cause diseases like cystic fibrosis or muscular dystrophy.
That would be life-changing for so many people.
Absolutely. And we're not just talking about inherited diseases. Researchers are also exploring CRISPR for things like cancer therapies. Imagine modifying a patient's immune cells to target tumors more effectively. One study we looked at is doing exactly that.
Wow, it sounds like CRISPR has the power to revolutionize medicine.
It really does. But like with any powerful tool, there are ethical considerations to think about. We're talking about altering the very building blocks of life here.
That's a huge responsibility. You
Yeah.
need to be very careful with that kind of power.
Exactly. So, I think the most important takeaway for our listeners today is this: with this newfound understanding of DNA and the ability to manipulate it with tools like CRISPR, we're at a pivotal point.
A point where we really need to carefully consider the path we choose to take.
Exactly. The possibilities are incredible, but it's up to all of us to ensure that we use this knowledge wisely.
Well said. Thanks for taking us on that deep dive. It was fascinating.
My pleasure. Always happy to talk about DNA.
And to our listeners, thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoyed this exploration of DNA and its implications. Until next time, keep those brain cells firing.
See you next time.